For more than a century, Berks County has benefited from outstanding leaders who have given back to their community and taken pride in where they live and work. The Thun Award was created in 1988 to honor Ferdinand and Louis Thun's lifetime commitment to public service. Since its founding, the Thun Award has annually celebrated an individual whose community vision, personal dedication to others, and philanthropic leadership echoes the Thun legacy. Irvin and Lois E. Cohen, the recipients of the 2014 Thun Award, have exemplified the philosophy of the Thun family in their lifetime commitment to Berks County. They've lent their own time and personal resources to organizations that keep this community strong and prosperous. Born and raised in Pittsburgh, Lois graduated from Taylor Alderdice High School. She went on to Penn State University, where she met Irv. Before meeting Lois at Penn State University, Irv graduated from Mount Penn High School in Reading and was drafted into the Army for 2.5 years. Irv and Lois were married less than a week after graduation. They currently reside in Reading and have a daughter, Helene, and a son, Richard, along with 4 grandchildren, Evan, Emily, Lori, and Ross.
Irv and Lois Cohen are probably the easiest donors in the world that the museum could possibly deal with. So when we need something, they're there for us. And I think the one word I would use to sum up our relationship would be awesome. They're just awesome people.
Well, when Irv and Lois call, you know it's not for them, it's about somebody else. And they have called us on many occasions regarding concerns that they've heard about a particular group of people that are underserved in the community.
They've particularly been supportive of students. They've created scholarships both at University Park but also at Penn State Berks. They are very interested in theater. And so they've benefacted theater program, the musical theater program at University Park, but also theater at Penn State Berks. Beyond the scholarships, they created the Cohen Lounge in our library, which is a wonderful gathering place for students.
Well, typically when Irv and Lois call for Jewish Family Service, which is a program of the Jewish Federation of Reading, it's regarding just concerns that they've heard that there's growing need in a particular area of the city, and how are we addressing that need. They'll ask if there's need for food pantry support, or they'll hear about a family and perhaps in the Jewish community that may need particular help. So I think it's really, some of the work that they do is very broad and sweeping, such as the East African Famine Relief Program that we worked with them on a few years ago. But sometimes it's just really about an individual. And I think that's really very special about them, because it's not all about the big and it's not all about the small, it's about everything. And that's what Irv and Lois like to do most. They like to help everyone.
They've supported us in a variety of different ways. First, they helped us initially with our first capital campaign. They became annual donors to the agency. And most recently, with our second capital campaign, they were the honorary co-chairs of the campaign and helped us raise nearly $3 million to put up our new building, and they were one of our lead donors.
Well, Irv has been on our board on and off for a long, long time, and is currently on the board. And that's a huge, obviously, area of support. Then there's obviously financial support as well. The gallery that we're sitting in now is the Irv and Lois Cohen Gallery of Modern and Contemporary Art. And that came about a few years ago, and obviously is a major sort of culmination of their lifelong support for the institution. And that's been obviously a huge sort of watershed moment for the museum. As one of the first galleries we'd ever named, and it allowed us to double the size of the galleries.
Well, if you look around, wherever there's a child or program for children, there's somehow Lois and Irv connected to it, and either you see their name on it, on a building, or you know about their contribution. They loved kids, and the great part about them is all you have to do is say to them, we have something for kids, and they want to help out.
The Cohen's impact on the greater Reading community is one showing that if people really put their passions at the forefront of everything they do, again, not just with money, but also with their leadership on, board service and attending events and speaking out about the things that they're most interested in, that they can have a real positive impact on the community. And Irvin and Lois are not shy about sharing their passions with other people. And I think the community has really improved because their lack of shyness and their willingness to get out in front of something and say, this is important and should be important to a lot of us.
I think they're probably two of the most humble people I've ever met in my life. They're really down to earth. They're funny. I think they're hysterical. And you can tell that years of hard work and sacrifice, they actually feel fortunate to be in the position they're in, and now they just want to give back, and it's great.
I think that they're deserving of this award because of the over many years, the long-standing commitment that they have made to community. They're so interested in their students at Penn State, but also others in the community who are in need.
Lois and Irv's legacy will be all about their generosity and their willingness to support and any programs that help underserved kids, poor children. Just their willingness to want to be able to help any way they can. I mean, that will be the legacy. They gave as much as they could possibly give, and they do it without any strings attached.
I think one of the times, or consistently, that I remember seeing Irvin and Lois, when I worked for the Reading Musical Foundation several years ago, they helped to build this Powell Center for the Arts, and it never failed. Every concert that we would help to host at the Powell Center for the Arts, I knew in the front row would be sitting Irvin and Lois Cohen, and they would be clapping and smiling and just encouraging all the children. And I think that's how I remember Irvin and Lois the most, is being there. They not only give, but they're physically there, they're present, and I think that's really important. They're very engaged in what they do.
I mean, I think Irv and Lois, and it really is Irv and Lois. I mean, they're like it's like Irv Lois. They're like a unit, because everything they do is together. I think that they're an outstanding example of really what philanthropy should be about. It's not about getting a name on something, and it's not about having some flashy award and ceremony and that sort of thing. It's about doing something for your community that you believe in. They pick the things that they really are passionate about, and they make gifts that are incredibly meaningful and impactful for the community, not just today, but for the future. And that's what they believe in, and I think that's really the true definition of philanthropy.
Irvin Lois, congratulations on being honored with the Thun Award. That's an absolutely wonderful recognition of your long-standing friendship and support for Reading and for the greater Berks community.
It's a wonderful tribute to everything you've done here in Berks County, and congratulations.
Irvin Lois, on behalf of the hundreds of thousands of people who your gifts have already impacted through their visits to the museum, and the millions more who are going to come and visit in the decades to come, we are proud of you for receiving the Thun Award tonight. Congratulations.
Irvin Lois, congratulations on being the recipients of this year's Thun Award. It's so well deserving. Mazel tov, you're extraordinary people, you're awesome. Thanks.
Congratulations, Irvin Lois, on winning the 2014 Thun Award.